Hi guys, it's me, just listening again. And for this video that I will be dedicated to Asian History Month in 2025, I shall be talking about another book, but this time it's about high Japanese culture rather than lesser forms of art. And the name of this book is The Book of Tea. Beauty, Simplicity, and the Zen Aesthetic. Written by Okakura Kakuzo. And this is a very important cultural book for the Japanese because tea is not one of those type of things where they you just say at a restaurant, okay, here's your tea, that's it, and pour it into a cup. No, it's a lot more than that. There's a lot more meaning behind it. There's a lot more preparation for it. A lot more spiritual meaning and guidance for it. Now, before I get into the actual book itself, the note forward in this book, written by Andrew Juniper. For those of you who play the Pokemon games, I tend to think that this is the same Juniper as Professor Juniper in the games. There's a little sign up there. But anyway, this is written by a team master by the author's name, Okakura Kakuzo. Yeah. Anyway, this book is very good. It's a very good thing to show the intricacies of tea room, flower arrangements. He even put in a poem that he wrote, a haiku, about tea. And tea to them is a lot more important than, say, the soft drinks and the coffee that we just use, like, in mass. Even the tea that they here, I'm sure that the Japanese probably say, the common crab, or the same Japanese equivalent, because tea for them is special. Now, tea actually originated in southern Asia, where it grows pretty well. Places like India, I'm sure Malaysia, India, Thailand, to India twice, but like, tropical areas like that. And then it went into China, where it became more of a significant thing, like where you have it with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's a more spiritual thing, spiritual type essence. And then it went into Great Britain from China and India, and from China it went directly to Japan. Although I'd be curious to know if China, if tea took on such significance in, say, Thailand or either one of the Koreas, because it'd be that interesting. I'm reading a book right now for this month on Korea, and I would like to know if tea is as important for their countries as they are for Japan and China. So anyway, before getting into the proper I would like to talk about the of content here because that's important. Also to wash down the bullshit of the text in Japanese because that book was painfully awful. Oh, it's important to know that this guy is a tea master, so he knows everything there is about tea. I'm not doing that to make a joke at Trump at the time. I'm talking about this guy really knows tea. He wrote books about it. He knows everything about tea that you can imagine. Flower arrangements, the tea room presentation, he probably teaches geishas how to perform a tea ceremony, and everything else. So let's see here. Yeah, there's also different schools of teaching people how to prepare and present tea. That seriously, they take it. And then I'll get into talking about the book a little bit, as well as my own little paper I did for a Japanese class about theoretical tea room that I would have set up myself if I ever had the opportunity to do so. So okay, we got the forward, and we got the forward to the 1956 edition of the to turn up what edition I have. By the way, I know for a fact that the same author, Kakuzo has two other books. One that I have in my possession that I haven't gotten to yet. And the other one was seemed like a kind of a waste of time, actually. Wait, now that I think of it, the other one is the Shinto book I read. And the other one seemed too short to write right now at the time. So, I don't know what edition this is, but it's past the 1956 version. And you got the introduction here, of course. And then they had the Cup of Humanity. And then they had the schools of tea. I believe there are 3 different schools, maybe 4. Taoism and Zenism, which is part of this tea thing. The tea room, art appreciation, flowers, tea masters, and then Okakura Kakuzo, a biological sketch, a biographical sketch, and a note of the illustrations. Yeah, this book actually has pictures in it. Very nice pictures. Like this one of writing texts, like calligraphy. Anyway, this guy gives very good detail about tea and tea rooms, etc., etc., flowers, and all that stuff. Because presentation to them is very important. It's very key to the production of it. That when they make tea in the bowl with a little whisk, they're what I call whisk. They get more spiritual, more important than your average import drink. That's it. Because they apply more grace to the emotion, every emotion that a person, a server, puts into a tea, into serving the tea as their beverage of choice. It's actually really important. Almost like a ballerina's movement, the way they move around and they almost dance when they make tea from scratch. And then you get the right measurements and you get the right ingredients and all that. So that's a pretty intense with the way sometimes they do it. It's also the notion of that less is more beautiful in some cases, as far as aesthetic go in art. And that sometimes when like professionals were to get into making tea, it's more of a lifestyle preparing tea than your average person. And I know that most people just boil up a tea bag and then just boil some water and stuff, and then put the tea bag into the cup of the empty cup of water and stuff. But they apply more spiritual significance to it than that. And they think that stuff is too commercialized for my taste. I prefer the actual mashing of it and make it into powder myself, out tea leaves and all that stuff. Plus it adds more of a charm to it. So then we go into tea rooms. And I have a very special taste in this because I did a paper on very detailed information on that. And what it is that tea rooms themselves signify a step away from the urban lifestyle of outside like Tokyo. You go into a tea room in like a little tunnel area, and then you come out and it's like I was in London more or less, but it's more like a fantasy type environment. The economy nerves, business people can come and enjoy themselves. Families can enjoy themselves depending on how much money the person has. They can dine with, they can drink tea with business people and all that, or just the common folk. But the main thing is that everyone can enjoy tea on some level in Japan, and I'm sure China as well, because a lot of the influence for Japan came from China. You could say that for Korea as well too. So let's see here. So they come in here to rest, to relieve themselves of all the pressure to work in daily life in a much more refined scene than say a bar or a karaoke place or something like that. And when people go into a tea house, they go into like a little tunnel area, like I mentioned before, which begs the question: what happens? Someone like me would want to go to tea area, in a tea house. Would I'm sure they got special doors and areas for me to go through and experience the same thing that said someone else would want to go to enjoy tea. And it's actually a very relaxing trip with lots of simple Zen gardens, with the sand and with the rocks and stuff. I don't know, I get to know the exact reason for all that sand and rocks and that kind of thing. Well, I'm sure there's gotta be some kind of a Zen reason for that, like more of a peaceful, uh, there's gotta be something kind of significant to sand and stuff besides Darth Vader, not like a sand. And it's very beautiful in its simplicity and all that. So that's pretty cool. Like that. And the flower arrangement, depending on who you're dealing with, what kind of clientele you deal with, they could like different kind of flowers, like no flowers, taking like cherry blossoms, taking like whatever they want, whatever the thing. If she hasn't known that there's going to be certainly a big customer, they'll put out like different plans for that customer. Well, if I ever go to Japan, well, I will be happy to take pictures if it's allowed of the kind of fantasy world and relaxation area that she has to provide for you. Like remember in the movie Kill Bill at the end when the bride is about to kill over an ACE and he has the big showdown on top of the roof. Yeah, that was kind of where I was going, kind of what she has to go for. In that they try to make an aesthetic on a rooftop in a big city. It's supposed to be like country-like, calming, and very zen for the most part. Very peaceful, and the perfect place to chop some of that top I ran off. So what keeps popping in my mind is another part where they have they move like timekeeper there that get like boom 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 boom. I think that remind me of the what you would the common effect is in like a tea house. They're a very common thing because everybody knows that Tokyo and all the other agencies out there are hustle and bustle, nerve-wracking on fire and, rushing and all that stuff. But, tea house is supposed to be very peaceful and a nice respite from all that nothingness. And it's also supposed to be simple and design and aesthetic too. They also offer like small little cakes and all that for people who are hungry, and they offer smoking rooms too for people that want to smoke up a pipe or something. Got to hear music I picture here. But yeah, all the pictures in here are black and white. No, tea mastery is someone that spent their entire life or most of life learning the art of tea, and then they teach that knowledge to other people who are willing to learn, who are patient enough and skilled enough to learn how to test their tea. Like Geisha. Okay, that's the typical tea room. Like, I can't handle tea because I got very shaky hands and stuff. So I wonder if they would be offended if someone like me were to come along and want to have tea in a straw, by a straw, rather than taking the bowl and gently sipping up and that kind of thing, or a mug or something like that. I can't do that. If I tried to do that, it would be very messy. Yeah, I definitely like this book. I actually did try matcha tea candy a long time ago. Don't ever try eating those late at night. You'll be up forever. You'll be up until noon the next day. So only eat those during your lunch or your possibly your dinner. But yeah, I definitely like this one because it's an authentic point for me because he's a Japanese person that is teaching about Japanese culture, which is a lot different than say someone like me teaching you guys about Japanese culture because I'm not in the culture itself, so I don't know every little intricacy, every little nuance, every little influence of it. And plus, I'd probably get a few things wrong. It could lead to others being offended or getting some wrong information from me. He's also very interested in Asian art, so he helps the museum there. The Tokyo Imperial University. He helped out with a lot of acquiring Eastern art, so things like from China, Korea, Japan, among others. I'm sure Mongolia too in there. Trying to get. So this guy definitely knows his stuff, and it's very important that he teaches everyone else because me being a stupid American, I learned a lot from this book. I learned about the significance of tea, why it's supposedly is a bit important to certain things, and why Japanese like things simple as opposed to us crying room with all kinds of knickknacks and all kinds of other stuff too. But the Japanese the living space to be wide open, among other things too. So they try to maximize their space. And and pick up something. There's also the Japanese sliding screens that he mentioned in here. And it's all very nice, this book. So yeah, I highly recommend it for those who obviously like tea, who want to know about the ceremony a lot, the preparation tea and all that. That's really funny, but what I'm about to say now is completely separate from the book. Now, this book is still a masterpiece. I'm sure they use this in many university studies and discussions and simple literature for people to read in classes and whatever. I think that maybe this book was used in my class too, but I'm not sure about that. But one more I like to say is different from this book. This is real funny, but I know a lot about the tea ceremony from this book and how everything is almost secret to the Japanese, whatnot to them. So it's actually really funny, but this is so totally random. But one time I was actually watching a porn movie of all things, and I could not but notice that they use the tea ceremony in there too. And it's really funny to see the young women in there bowing like they were honoring the tea. And it was funny because if this was a porn movie, if you didn't know that was a porn movie, it would be it would fit right in there with talking about the tea that they need to, bow their heads, their bodies, and they respect whatever else in the tea room. The simplified tea room. So even in something like a triple X adult movie, they still have respect for the tea ceremony. And I gotta respect that. Now, you gotta respect your own culture, your own culture identity. Even though it's kind of funny now. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this book. It was very educational for me. It was very fun for me to read this. And it was very enlightening to me. It's able to talk about Taoism and Zenism because I like to read about Eastern religion and whatnot, which also originated in India too, and then moved to China and the other countries from there. So yeah, I thank you for watching my video on the Book of Tea. Beauty, simplicity, and the Zen aesthetic. Written by Okakura Kakuzo. Yeah, I finally got it right. Yeah. When I did pick a book, I did this book for Asian History Month in the year 2025. And, I give this a wholehearted happy face to the people because even though I'm not that much into tea, all the little stuff and the basic stuff to flavor tea, they go hardcore with it. They go hardcore with the tea and the production and like growing a plant and that kind of thing. You also go big on the whole aesthetic behind tea and the whole, every movement is almost sacred. Kind of like Goku, when he was training as a little kid, he was taught that every wasted movement is bad. So like when you serve tea, that every movement that the server makes is measured and poised. I know that. That was insulin's uncheckable, but it's still pretty cute. It's still a pretty cute idea. Anyway, if you like what you see here, and you want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also give me any more future ideas for future videos on this channel. You can call me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PNelsonPro. Also, you can get my email at jksviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all you people who like tea, who like Mr. Kakuzo, his work, and his teaching stuff about tea and other projects. And let me know if you guys have been to tea house and tell me if it was ever a common respite from the busy outside world, the nightmarish world. And I think my dad would like a tea house, as if he even liked tea that much. But anyway, so they got other stuff to do. And this is a real fun book. I highly recommend it. Tea. And very nice to know that they only sell tea there. They don't really sell any alcoholic beverages to keep more of a pure mindset in tea house. But no legacy behavior either. So it's nice that they actually have like a national school for that type of tea presentation and tea house and preparing for that kind of thing. They're so into the art and stuff that it's pretty adorable. So yeah, I enjoyed this book. Please something better such as. I'll see you in the next video. All your girls and guys in Interland. Aloha, sayonara, and be a